Shinlang never expected that just as all plans were proceeding steadily, Prime Minister Zhu Hongzhu would suddenly recommend Zhang Chong to take up the post of subordinate commander of Glamorous Province, and this move directly disrupted his subsequent deployment plans. It should be known that Shinlang originally intended to wait for the Crown Prince's faction to launch a frantic attack on Zhang Chong, and then he would come forward to plead for mercy on his behalf before the sovereign, thereby saving Zhang Chong. Subsequently, he would let Ning Jin go to bed Consort Jean and let Du Bianxiao strongly recommend Zhang Chong to serve as the subordinate commander of Glamorous Province before the sovereign. Ning Jin would then have both the grace of saving his life and the virtue of recommendation towards Zhang Chong, which would also allow him to completely break with the Zhu faction and the Crown Prince's faction and completely submit to Ning Zheng's command. But now Zhu Hongzhu's behind-the-scenes operation not only cut off Zhang Chong's path to join them but also caught Shinlang off guard, leaving him no room to fight back. Indeed, when it comes to political means, ginger is still spicier when it's old, and the sovereign seemed to have insight into the grievance in Shinlang's heart. So on the day after Zhang Chong left, he sent Li Yan to the Marquis of Chongping's mansion to formally issue the appointment decree. The decree clearly stipulated, confer Lan Feng as the chief clerk of the Marquis of Chongping's mansion with a rank of lower 6th grade, confer Kui Chen as the leader of 1,000 households of the Marquis of Chongping's mansion. The 10 Lan brothers are all leaders of 100 households of the Marquis of Chongping's mansion. At this point, Ning Jing could be considered to have truly established an administration and mansion, and the framework of his team was also completely built up. Meanwhile, at the Crown Prince's residence, Zhui Xiaoyan was reporting the news found to the Crown Prince. Your Highness, the identities of those 11 beggars of the Lan clan have all been investigated clearly. They are all special bloodline possessors. The reason they stood out in this special imperial examination is all because of Shinlang. He used some unknown method to actually activate the bloodlines of these dozen people. Hearing this, the Crown Prince's face was as heavy as water, yet he remained silent throughout. The chief clerk of the Crown Prince's residence saw this and asked directly, then can we use this matter to suppress Shinlang and label these people as remnants of the former Flame Emperor Jianli? Zhui Xiaoyan shook her head. No, after my Zhou family was destroyed, the great Flame Emperor actually relented on this matter. The current special bloodline possessors are no longer considered remnants of Jianli. Mentioning the old matter of the Zhou family being slaughtered, Zhui Xiaoyan's mind instantly recalled the moment when she was most despairing. A woman came before her and said, I'm sorry. It was only then that she learned the whole truth. And this woman was the instigator who caused the tragedy of the Zhou family, the second princess of the Yu Kingdom, Ning Han. It turned out that year, when Ning Han, Zhu Hongxue, and a prince of the Great Flame Empire were studying ancient classics at Sky's End Sea Pavilion, they happened to encounter Kui Chen, who had just entered Sky's End Sea Pavilion for medical treatment and whose body was festering. And Ning Han judged at a glance that this was a special bloodline possessor left over after the demise of the former Flame Emperor Jianli, caused by body mutation due to powerful inner strength not being channeled. But it was precisely because of her unintentional remark that the Great Flame Empire prince determined that the Zhou family were remnants of Jianli and directly slaughtered the entire Zhou family. Although Ning Han later made a big scene with the prince because of this, she was powerless to reverse the established tragedy. Subsequently, in order to protect these innocent people, she went to find her master Zhuo Xi. After Zhuo Xi discussed with several other heaven-reaching figures, they decided to separately accept these special bloodline possessors as registered disciples. And the current emperor of the Great Flame Empire, under pressure from all sides, could only formally issue a decree pardoning these special bloodline possessors as innocent. The chaotic memories were abruptly cut off. At this moment, the Crown Prince's eyes were ice-cold, staring dead at Zhuo Xiaoyan, who was bowing submissively at his feet, while the anger in his heart was rising step by step. This Shinlang really had dog-shit luck to actually encounter these special bloodline possessors. The more he thought, the angrier he got, and he suddenly said coldly, Zhuo Xiaoyan, didn't you say Ku Tuhuan had already been disposed of? Why has he changed his appearance and become the leader of 1,000 households in my 5th brother's mansion? Hearing the Crown Prince's questioning, Zhuo Xiaoyan was immediately scared into trembling all over. Please forgive me, Your Highness. It was this concubine's momentary negligence and ineffective handling. However, before her voice could fall, the Crown Prince's figure flashed before her like a ghost, grabbing her neck with one hand, slamming her hard against the wall behind her, then backhandedly pulling out her hairpin and ruthlessly stabbing it into her chest cavity, specifically avoiding vital points and piercing straight through the lungs. In an instant, a mouthful of fresh blood rushed to her throat, but Zhui Xiaoyan gritted her teeth tightly. Even if trembling had spread all over her body, she dared not reveal half a bit. At this moment, the Crown Prince's eyes were sinister like knives, and he said in a cold and stern tone, Zhui Xiaoyan, you trash. I give you one last chance. If you fail again, don't blame me for being cruel. After speaking, he threw her fiercely onto the ground, then turned and said in a deep voice, pass down the order. The fugitive bandit Ku Tuhuan is guilty of heinous crimes, and now he is living under a pseudonym hiding in the Marquis of Chongping's mansion, burying a huge hidden danger for the entire royal family in the capital city. Now order the Tianhua commander's office to unite with the Court of Judicial Review to to immediately set off for the Marquis of Changping's mansion to arrest Ku Tuan. Those who defy will be killed without mercy. Meanwhile, in the study of the royal palace, Sovereign Ning Yan, in order to fulfill the previous bet with Shinlang, specially summon him. Ning Yan laughed with a slightly playful tone. Shinlang, you brat, your luck is really good. Since you kept your promise and let those 11 beggars all make the list of the golden list, then I am willing to admit defeat and bestow 2,000 private troops upon you according to the agreement. Are you satisfied? Shinlang heard this and bowed. Your Majesty, you know that these 2,000 private troops are not sought for by this humble minister, but I implore your Majesty to bestow them upon His Highness Ning Yan. As soon as these words came out, Ning Yan's brows suddenly furrowed. He really didn't want to hear the name Ning Yan, but on second thought, the winner was ultimately Shinlang, this bastard. So he said, since the winner is you, then it's up to you. Tell me, which army have you taken a fancy to? Is it the Imperial Guard or the Border Army? Hearing this, Shinlang shook his head and said, replying to your Majesty, neither is this minister's intention. This minister wants to personally recruit soldiers and, in the shortest time, build an invincible army, not only to make them the #1 strong army of the U Kingdom, but also to become an existence that makes the enemies of various countries turn pale at the news and flee at the sight of the wind. Hearing this, Ning Yan was first stunned, then sneered aloud. Shinlang, you are simply speaking idiocy in a dream. Do you know how much effort and time it takes to train an elite strong army? Shinlang, I admit you indeed have strange talents, but your success this time was merely luckily finding 10 special bloodline possessors. Such figures are already rare as phoenix feathers and unicorn horns in the world. Even if your luck is good again, it is absolutely impossible to form a strong army of 2,000 men. Don't waste time tossing about blindly. I will transfer 1,000 elites each from the Imperial Guard and the Border Army to you. This should satisfy you, right? Shinlang shook his head again. Your Majesty, I, Shinlang, never speak false words. You know this. Please give this minister at most 4 months, and this minister will definitely make this army of 2,000 men have the ability to defeat 8,000 or even 10,000 enemy troops on the battlefield. Right now, the King of Chu has joined forces with noble Lord Jean of the Southern Ouyang Kingdom to contend with you. I'm afraid it is necessary for you to conduct a border hunt. In this world, a border hunt between emperors is the smallest scale war to resolve disputes between two countries. Previously, it was because the King of Yu lost to the King of Wu in a border hunt that a series of subsequent crises in the Yu Kingdom were detonated. At this moment, hearing Shinlang mention launching a border hunt with the King of Chu, Ning Yan asked with a suddenly solemn expression, how do you plan to scheme this hunt? Shinlang replied without thinking, just use the 2,000 private troops I am about to train to battle against the Chu Kingdom. Your Majesty, if we win this hunt, then the Chu Kingdom must not only admit defeat, compromise, and withdraw troops, but the King of Chu must also personally apologize to you, compensate our country with 500,000 gold coins, and cede 23 fortresses. Nonsense. Ning Yan immediately scolded angrily, not to mention your 2,000 private troops have not yet been established. Even if formed successfully in a short time, a group of new recruits wanting to confront the 5,000 elite troops of the Chu Kingdom, if lost, have you considered the consequences? Shinlang touched his head and laughed foolishly. Then your Majesty can only go apologize, and then cede territory and pay indemnities. As soon as these words came out, the sovereign was almost angered into a heart attack. Shinlang, you bastard, you actually dare to treat national affairs as child's play, treating the battlefield between two countries as your experimental ground, openly digging such a big pit. Do you have a grudge against me? Just as Ning Yan was in a rage, Li Ji hurriedly came to report, Your Majesty, Her Highness Princess Ning Han has returned. Hearing this, the sovereign was first stunned, then wildly overjoyed. I didn't hear wrong, right? Ning Han is back. His most precious daughter is back. Immediately he strode towards the palace door, took 2 steps, then suddenly looked back and waved at Shinlang. Stinky brat, quickly follow me to welcome my pearl in the palm. Shinlang was secretly surprised in his heart upon hearing of Princess Ning Han's return. However, Shinlang was not unfamiliar with this princess's title. She was recognized as the #1 beauty of the Yu Kingdom. As early as 10 years ago, she was the direct disciple of Pavilion Master Ci of Sky's NC Pavilion, and her martial power value was on par with Chiu Yaoer. She followed Pavilion Master Ci traveling all year round, excavating countless ruins of the ancient world, not only mastering a large number of ancient secrets but also becoming a representative figure of forces transcending the secular world in this world. While thinking, he saw Ning Han slowly walking towards them not far away. With just one glance, Shinlang was deeply attracted by her appearance. It could truly be described as bright eyes and skillful glances hiding star dew, red lips lightly opening spitting pearls. A glimpse of a frightened goose makes the soul drunk first, full body elegance surpassing a picture. However, returning to the main topic, amazed as he was, Shinlang couldn't help but activate his X-ray vision and began to scan Ning Han's bloodline. However, the next second, he was shocked by the result, causing his heart to shake hugely. This Ning Han was actually, like Big Fool, a golden bloodline. How is this possible? According to what he understood, the sovereign and the former queen did not possess such powerful martial arts bloodlines, so how could she possess possessed this heaven-defying bloodline. Moreover, she had followed Pavilion Masters with CI practicing martial arts for 20 years. It was hard to imagine how strong this woman must be. At this time, after Ning Han finished saluting the sovereign, she walked up to Shinlang and said, "You must be Shinlang, right? I will catch up with Father King first, and will specially visit you later." Hearing this, although Shinlang couldn't guess her intentions, he still politely bowed. "Then this minister will not disturb the reunion between the princess and your majesty, and will take leave first." Meanwhile, people from the Tianhua commander's office held the crown prince's order and arrived at Ning Zheng's mansion, claiming they wanted to arrest the fugitive Ku Tuhuan. However, they were blocked by Ning Zheng, who declared that there was only Kui Chen as the leader of 1,000 households in the mansion, and no such person as Ku Tuhuan. And even if Ning Zheng was out of favor, he was ultimately a prince. The people from the commander's office dared not act recklessly without authorization, and could only return with regret and anger. When Shinlang returned to the mansion, Ning Zheng informed him of this matter at the first moment. Shinlang didn't care at all about this. "Now that we have your majesty as a shield, even if the crown prince wants to target us, he will weigh the consequences and will definitely not easily do things that are too out of line." Then he turned to Wu Lai and said, "Quickly go call leader of 1,000 households Ku and Lan Feng. Next, we have important matters to discuss." A moment later in the main hall of the mansion, Shinlang stood on the platform and said to the three, "Next, we must launch two things first for the subsequent plans. That is to ask your majesty for a piece of land to serve as our base. I see that the northern park hunting ground has been abandoned all year round, and your majesty hasn't set foot there for a long time. It suits us perfectly as a base. Moreover, that location is remote and hidden enough, and the site is fully tens of thousands of mu, which can be used for daily troop training and also for managing the subsequent sky-high wealth. It can be described as our best site selection." As the voice fell, Ning Jing immediately stood up and recommended himself. "Leave this matter to me. I will go ask Father King for it." Shinlang heard this and said tactfully, Your Highness, it's better if I go ask your majesty to borrow it." These words were instantly like a basin of cold water, instantly extinguishing Ning Zheng's enthusiasm. Although the northern park hunting ground has been abandoned for many years, it is ultimately a royal property. I am not liked by Father King to begin with, so how could he agree to bestow such a large piece of land to me? But Shinlang is different. He is best at pleasing Father King. Maybe with just a few words, he can make Father King give this land to me in a daze. Shinlang was also helpless seeing Ning Zheng's dejected appearance, but now the appearance of Zhu Hongzhu had disrupted his plans. Time was tight at present. He had to speed up to push the progress, and could only let Ning Zheng adjust his mindset himself. Thinking to this point, he continued, "We must settle the matter of the venue within 3 days, and then publicly recruit soldiers. We must recruit 2,000 troops in the shortest time." Lan Feng asked, "Could it be that we continue to set up stalls to recruit soldiers like when recruiting us before?" Shinlang nodded. At this time, Kui Chen said, "Young Master Shin, my 200 subordinate soldiers will arrive in the capital city in a few days." This news instantly made Shinlang overjoyed. "Great, 100 of them will serve as your direct line army, and the other 100 need to be focused on training into intelligence elites. We want to build an intelligence organization more top-notch than the Blackwater platform." Kui Chen immediately bowed to accept the order. "Please rest assured, young master, we will unconditionally obey orders." At this time, Lan Feng finally couldn't help asking, "Young master, although we created a miracle in this imperial examination, in the eyes of the world, His Highness Ning Jing has still failed to turn over, so those martial artists with high martial arts outside are not willing to join us yet. I'm afraid it will be difficult to recruit elites." Shinlang heard this and chuckled. "Everyone has misunderstood. Actually, your majesty summoned me into the palace this time to fulfill the promise, to transfer 1,000 elites each from the Imperial Guard and the Border Army into our mansion. But I refused, because I want to personally recruit newcomers, the kind of special bloodline people who have no foundation and start from zero." Lan Feng became more confused after hearing this. "Young master, special bloodline possessors like us are already rare. How can we find so many in a short time?" Hearing Lan Feng's question, a gleam of cunning flashed in Shinlang's eyes. "Of course I know special bloodline possessors are very rare, so what I want is created special bloodline possessors. In this world, most people more or less possess martial arts bloodlines, but there is still a small portion of people who completely lack a single bit of martial arts talent in their bodies. Their bloodlines are a blank slate, which is also the so-called complete trash." As soon as these words came out, the eyes of the three instantly looked at Shinlang in unison. Shinlang immediately sweated. "Damn, did I say something wrong? Why are these three guys looking at me with this kind of look?" Immediately he coughed lightly to cover up the embarrassment and continued, "Anyway, what we are looking for is 2,000 such trash as new recruits. Afterward, I will use a few months to train them into invincible elites capable of fighting 1 against 4, building the #1 strong army of the U Kingdom. If everything goes smoothly, our 2,000 new troops will welcome their first battle in 4 months, battling against 5,000 elite troops of the Chu Kingdom with 2,000 men. But it concerns your majesty's dignity and the national honor of the entire U Kingdom, so we can only win and not lose. If the first battle of these 2,000 troops can win, then we will also definitely be able to soar soar into the sky. Shinlang's lofty ambition instantly stunned Ning Yan and the other two. What is young Master Shin saying? Within 4 months, let us find 2,000 trash with blank bloodlines and cultivate them into the #1 strong army of the U Kingdom, and even use 2,000 men to hard shake 5,000 elites and must win. Creating such heaven-defying miracles happening once occasionally is acceptable, but if it happens often, it would be too horrifying. Looking at the shocked expressions of the three, Shinlang chuckled, then waved his hand and said, "All right everyone, start moving. The opportunity to make contributions and establish careers while racing against time is right in front of us." Meeting adjourned. After speaking, he waved his hand and walked out of the house. Looking at Shinlang's departing back, Lan Feng couldn't help muttering, "Young Master Shin never fights a battle without a target. Presumably he has researched something new again." And just as Lan Feng thought, Shinlang indeed obtained a breakthrough progress accidentally while researching the golden bloodline cursed bug. The cause of all this was because a few days ago, a servant with no bloodline foundation was pricked by a needle tube containing golden bloodline cursed bugs while helping him clean the laboratory. But to Shinlang's surprise, this person not only didn't explode and die but instead gained a blessing in disguise, causing his entire body to undergo a complete transformation. It should be known that for a long time, he had done countless experiments, even the lowest level golden cursed bugs. Ordinary bloodline martial artists couldn't withstand the bloodline impact they brought at all. But now, when Shinlang checked his servant with his X-ray vision, he found that this person's strength, spirit, spiritual power, and even agility and other attributes, although not as unfathomable as martial arts experts, were already several times beyond ordinary martial artists. In this way, does this mean that a brand new special bloodline has already been born? With doubts, afterward Shinlang went through many days of repeated deduction and verification, and finally uncovered the key within. It wasn't that the golden bloodline cursed bugs changed the Lan brothers' bloodlines, but that they completely activated the potential originally suppressed in their bodies. Only ordinary people with truly not a trace of bloodline power could be completely transformed by the cursed bugs. When the golden bloodline cursed bugs entered their bodies, there would be no hindrance from any bloodline power, so they could smoothly take root and fuse. In this way, Shinlang already had a bold plan in his heart. He wanted to give those trash from the bottom layer a chance for large-scale bloodline modification, which would also be the time for 2,000 dregs despised by the world to rise like phoenixes from the ashes. At that time, if he could hold such an absolutely powerful iron army in his hand, he would truly possess the confidence and capital to compete for the heir position. And this battle with the Southern Ouyang Kingdom was exactly their best touchstone. If this battle could soar into the sky and establish illustrious military merits, His Highness Ning Yan could truly contend with the third prince and the crown prince as equals. Thinking to this point, the corner of Shinlang's mouth hooked up a confident arc. With my, Shinlang's, support, even mud can become a monarch of the 9-5. However, just as he was proud, Wang Feng appeared faintly behind him. "A lady has come to visit." Shinlang heard this, and before she could finish, he disdainfully said, Not seeing. I, Shinlang, am a man who keeps himself clean. Recently I haven't provoked any orioles and swallows. Don't let it be some cat or dog wanting to take the opportunity to touch porcelain and cling on." As soon as the words left his mouth, Wang Feng couldn't help rolling a big white eye, then patiently added, "This guest is Her Highness Princess Ning Han." Ning Han? Just as these two words entered his ears, Shinlang's pride instantly dissipated, and then he suddenly turned and walked towards the inner room, saying urgently while walking, "Wang Feng, quickly prepare top-grade good tea to entertain the princess. I will tidy up slightly and go see her immediately." A moment later in the reception hall of the Marquis's mansion, Ning Han smiled straight to the point as soon as she saw Shinlang. "Shinlang, bright people don't speak dark words. My return to the capital city this time is actually to see you." As the voice fell, Shinlang couldn't help being slightly stunned. Then the corner of his lips hooked up a smile and said, "I actually didn't know when my, Shinlang's, fame became so big that I could make Her Highness the second princess, who hasn't returned to the capital for 10 years, come back specially. Then I wonder what matter the second princess is looking for this minister for." Hearing this, Ning Han smiled elegantly. "Shinlang, actually my teacher intends to accept you as a disciple, letting you become the youngest junior brother among us. Pavilion Masters with CI wants to accept me as a disciple." Shinlang couldn't help turning pale with shock upon hearing this. Why is this? Pavilion Masters with CI is a top figure controlling world rules. If he could enter under his door, it would be tantamount to ascending to the sky in one step, directly ranking among the top of the world pyramid. Suppressing the shock in his heart, he raised his eyes to look at Ning Han, his tone carrying a few points of probing. "The Pavilion Master and I have never met. Why would he suddenly choose me?" Ning Han laughed. "Of course it's because of your overflowing talent." Shinlang didn't believe these words, but he didn't pick up the conversation either, just staring at Ning Han with a half smile. Seeing this, Ning Han couldn't help laughing out loud. "Shinlang, you are indeed very smart. Since that's the case, then I will speak frankly. Crown Prince Ning Yi and I are biological siblings. Naturally, I will go all out to support him ascending the throne. I don't want you to mix into my royal family's struggle for the heir." Hearing this, Shinlang's face instantly turned cold, and he said in a deep voice, "Princess, third Prince Ning Chi is also competing with the Crown Prince for the heir position, and his forces are much thicker than mine. Why don't you go dissuade him, but instead come to find me?" Ning Han laughed, naturally, because behind Ning Chi's forces, there are the two great families of Shui and Zhong as his reliance. Their power is too strong, so the cost of dissuading him will naturally also increase. But you and Ningjing are just starting, and have no foundation behind you, so the cost I pay to dissuade you is naturally the smallest. Furthermore, you assisting Ningjing in seizing the airship is nothing more than worrying that after Ning Yi ascends the throne, he will settle accounts with you and the Jean family. Now, as long as you can agree to become teacher's disciple, no one will dare to touch you and the Jean family anymore. After Shinlang heard this, he immediately understood, so to speak, the reason why Pavilion Masters was CI would accept me as a disciple is also your idea. Correct, Ning Han said arrogantly. Indeed, it was I who opened my mouth to beg teacher. But having said that, although you are a martial arts trash, you win in having a smart and wise mind, so you are worthy of being teacher's disciple. As soon as these words came out, Shinlang felt a great insult. Ning Han could actually speak these words so bluntly, obviously not putting him in her eyes at all. In her heart, he and Ningjing were probably just ants to be manipulated by others, and the reason she could be so high above, wantonly despising others, was it just because she was the direct disciple of Pavilion Masters was CI, the confidence of possibly becoming the next Pavilion Master of Sky's NC Pavilion? While thoughts were flowing, he heard Ning Han continue, "Shinlang, if you agree, I can take you to see teacher right now. We are about to go to an ancient ruin to explore. With your intelligence and wisdom, you will definitely be able to play a key role at that time." As the voice fell, Shinlang did not answer, just hooking up a meaningful faint smile on his lips. Seeing this, Ning Han said, "It seems you don't approve of my proposal, right? Why? Is it because my words just now hurt your self-esteem?" As soon as these words came out, Shinlang waved his hands repeatedly. No, no, no. A man like me who eats soft rice and kneels to his wife every day, where would I have any self-esteem? I just feel that a sense of security ultimately has to be earned by oneself. Relying on others to give it is ultimately unreliable. I helped Ningjing seize the airship not only to protect myself and the Jean family, mainly because I also want revenge. I have always been a person who seeks revenge for the smallest grievance. Only by personally destroying the Shui family can my heart be completely comfortable. Ning Han couldn't help laughing after hearing this. "Shinlang, you are indeed a person who fears neither heaven nor earth." Shinlang smiled, his tone carrying a few points of probing. "The second princess flatters me. However, I rejected you today. You have monstrous power in Sky's NC Pavilion. You won't fly into a rage out of humiliation and send people to take my life, right?" These half-true, half-false words instantly made Ning Han laugh out loud. "How is that possible? Since I am already a person of Sky's NC Pavilion, I can no longer mix into the matter of princes seizing the airship, nor intervene in secular royal power disputes." She changed the subject and asked, "I heard Kui Chen is also here. Can you let him come see me?" Shinlang smiled. "Since the second princess is magnanimous and spared me, then this small matter is naturally not a problem. Please wait here for a moment, Your Highness." A quarter of an hour later, Kui Chen came to the reception hall under orders. Facing Ning Han, he bowed and saluted. Kui Chen pays respects to senior sister. However, Ning Han asked with a cold expression, "Kui Chen, do you know the rules of our Sky's NC Pavilion disciples?" Kui Chen was stunned, then shook his head. He was just a registered disciple of Pavilion Masters with CI. He hadn't even seen the Pavilion Masters face much, so how would he know any rules? Maybe CI had forgotten there was such a person as him. At this time, he heard Ning Han say sternly, "Kui Chen, our Sky's NC Pavilion aims to excavate ancient civilizations and promote world progress. Disciples of my pavilion, especially the Pavilion Master's personal disciples, absolutely cannot intervene in secular royal power struggles. This is an iron law established jointly by several top organizations, and also a taboo of my pavilion." Listening to Ning Han's high-sounding rhetoric, Shinlang couldn't help secretly mocking in his heart, saying it so righteously. "Aren't you going all out to support Ning Yi in seizing the airship now? Where is this rule?" At this time, he heard Ning Han continue, "Kui Chen, you immediately put down all matters in your hands and return to Sky's NC Pavilion with me. Afterward, you only need to concentrate on cultivation while serving as a martial scholar in the pavilion, focusing on improving martial arts." As soon as these words came out, Shinlang immediately understood. Damned woman, so she wanted to use Kui Chen as a breakthrough point. He is the only military talent in our Marquis of Chomping's mansion. Without him, the training of the new army would fall into complete stagnation, and at that time, the foundation of supporting Ningjing to seize the airship would also be shaken. However, while thoughts were flowing, he heard Kui Chen ask Ning Han neither humbly nor arrogantly, "Princess, I am just a registered disciple of Sky's NC Pavilion. No one has ever told me there was such a rule. Moreover, when I was the bandit Kutuhuan before, I had always been working for Crown Prince Ning Yi. Why didn't I see anyone come to tell me the rules then?" Ning Han was stunned upon hearing this, then said coldly, "What you said makes sense. Previously it was my pavilion's negligence in teaching you. Now that I have learned of your situation, I must inform you of the rules. As a disciple of the Pavilion Master, you naturally should remember and abide by them." Hearing this, Kui Chen remained silent, saying nothing. What negligence in teaching, just an excuse. As a registered disciple, Masters was CI had probably long thrown him to the back of his mind. Back then, he did so many dirty things for the Crown Prince, but in the end was poisoned by the Crown Prince and his beloved woman. Did anyone from Sky's End Sea Pavilion ever stand up for him? Now that it concerns royal interests, they remember to tell him rules. Simply ridiculous to the extreme. Thinking to this point, Kui Chen raised his head, his eyes firm as he said, "Since I cannot abide by the rules in the pavilion, then from today onwards, I will no longer be a disciple of Sky's End Sea Pavilion. Please pass a message to the pavilion master, princess, and trouble him, the old man, to expel me from the sect." Ning Han was slightly stunned after hearing this, then sneered, "Kui Chen, do you know that if you leave Sky's End Sea Pavilion, your martial arts path will have no possibility of improvement, and it will be difficult to advance even an inch in this life?" Kui Chen shook his head. "It doesn't matter. Since I have made up my mind, I won't regret it." Seeing his attitude so resolute, Ning Han knew that today's matter was hopeless, and could only sigh lightly. "Since that's the case, then just pretend I haven't made this trip. Farewell." After speaking, she left the Marquis of Chomping's mansion without looking back. After Ning Han's figure went far away, Shinlang turned his head to look at Kui Chen, his tone carrying a few points of playfulness. "Did you feel it just now, that contempt from above the clouds?" Kui Chen nodded. Seeing this, the corner of Shinlang's mouth hooked up a cunning smile. "Then let's work hard. Isn't she trying to protect the Crown Prince? Then we will help His Highness Ning Jing succeed in seizing the airship, and then step the Crown Prince fiercely under our feet. Since she prides herself on being high above, then we will pluck all the feathers on her wings, tear off her disguise of immortal style and Taoist bones, let her fall into the mud, and taste the suffering of the moral world. Although I don't know if fairies eat grains to relieve filth, I know clearly that once stained with filthy mud and turbid water, that body of cold arrogance of hers can no longer be maintained." As soon as these words came out, Kui Chen, who had just listened with boiling blood, couldn't help grinning. "Young master, I very much agree with the first half of your speech, but the description in this second half is a bit too crude and disgusting." Shinlang heard this and just chuckled without saying much. In his view, although Ning Han's arrogance had a few points of similarity with Qiu Yaoer, the essence was completely different. Qiu Yaoer's arrogance was like the scorching sun, hot and magnanimous, and would protect everyone under her wings. But this Ning Han was exactly the opposite. She appeared gentle and fearless with no airs on the surface, but in reality, deep in her eyes, she hid indifference and detachment that regarded all living beings as ants. Thinking to this point, he turned directly and walked outside. "Such a woman is not worth fearing to begin with. I'd better hurry into the palace to ask your majesty for the northern park hunting ground." After this matter, Ning Han left the capital city quietly, and almost at the same time, swarming into the capital city, the leader was none other than the legitimate daughter of the Yu Kingdom's veteran top noble Zhong family, Shong Sher. This woman had relied on her family power to be spicy and domineering since childhood. It was precisely she who beat Jean Mulan into heavy injury in the capital city back then. Asking how big this Zhong power is, her family's surface territory alone is probably more than 10,000 square kilometers, which is 4 times that of the previous Su family. The northern half of the western celestial province is her family's territory. Most importantly, the Zhong clan is the military warlord with the strongest strength in the Yu Kingdom. The territory it controls is, to some extent, much broader than that of Duke Bianxiao. In contrast, although Bianxiao holds military and political power, because of Consort Jean, his relationship with sovereign Ning Yan is extremely close, and he has long handed over all the civil administration power of the Bian clan's 3 counties to Ning Yan. But Zhong family head Zhong Yao is completely different. He not only firmly governs the military and political power of the area, but also openly controls an army of 100,000. And what is little known is that during the struggle for the heir of the King of Yu more than 20 years ago, the Zhong family secretly favored the side of his brother Ning Yuanwu. After Ning Yuan ascended the throne, he originally wanted to take the opportunity to purge the veteran military general forces, but helplessly, in the war against the Chu Kingdom afterward, the Zhong clan became the main force, stationed at the forefront of the border all year round. Ning Yuan could also only turn a blind eye to the arrogance of his family, so much so that when conferring Bianxiao as the Privy Council envoy, Zhong Yao, who had long been at odds with him, in order to balance Bianxiao, also let his younger brother Zhong Yi enter the capital city to be the deputy envoy of the Bureau of Military Affairs. Subsequently, in order to comfort Zhong Yao, Ning Yuan could only re-enable the position of Grand Commandant, which had been abandoned for 100 years, and confer it upon Zhong Yao in order to make him sit on equal footing with Bianxiao. And at that time, Shinlang, who was heading to the royal palace for an audience, heard a rush of horse hoofs coming from behind. Wu Lai reflexively looked behind, and the next second exclaimed, "Master, dodge quickly, it's Zhong Sher's cavalry team." Before the voice fell, Shinlang saw a dazzling figure like a raging flame whistling towards him. Zhong Sher's peerlessly beautiful appearance, as well as her charming and graceful figure, made Shinlang lose his mind for a moment. This look, this figure, it could be said that in every aspect of external conditions, she was on par with Mulan. However, Shinlang shook his head fiercely, then looked at them with ruthless eyes. "So what if this This woman has city-toppling beauty. She once injured Mulan. Shinlang will take revenge on her sooner or later. Unexpectedly, at this moment, Shong Sher suddenly turned her head and scolded him angrily. Dead man, what are you looking at? Look again and I'll dig out your eyes. Before her voice could fall, the cavalry beside her had already raised their bows, and instantly several crossbow arrows shot straight towards Shinlang wildly. Seeing this, Wu Lai and others quickly combined into a shield wall with quick eyes and hands, firmly blocking in front of Shinlang. At this moment, Shinlang, who was lucky enough not to be injured, was completely enraged. What an arrogant and domineering Zhong legitimate daughter. She actually dares to shoot and kill people on the street. Her arrogant behavior of treating human life like grass is simply seeking a dead end for the Zhong family. At this time, watching the back of Shong Sher's cavalry regiment going away, Wu Lai gritted his teeth and said, "Master, how can we endure such humiliation? Should we chase after them and fight them hard?" Shinlang shook his head and said, "Now is not the time to deal with them. Just let these jumping clowns jump for another period of time. Right now, we need to hurry into the palace to find the sovereign. Asking for the northern park hunting ground is the proper business." Half a while later, Shinlang arrived at the imperial study. As soon as they met, Ning Yan asked, "Stinky brat, what did Ning Han come to find you for this time?" Shinlang bowed and replied, "Replying to your majesty, the princess promised this minister a commitment. She will let this minister enter Sky's End Sea Pavilion and become a registered disciple of Pavilion Masters with CI. And her condition is that this minister withdraw from the struggle for the air and no longer assist His Highness Ning Yan." As soon as these words came out, Ning Yan's face suddenly sank. Could it be that she returned to the capital this time specifically for this matter? Shinlang nodded. Seeing this, Ning Yan's heart instantly burned with anger. "Ning Han, you rebellious daughter, actually dare to overstep your authority and challenge my authority. Do you still have me, this father, in your eyes? Don't forget that you were first my Ning Yan's daughter, the princess of Great Yu, and only then the successor of the Pavilion Master of Sky's End Sea Pavilion. Shinlang is my subject. Whether he participates in royal disputes is all the internal affairs of my Yu kingdom, and it is not yet up to Sky's End Sea Pavilion to gesture and exert pressure." Thinking to this point, Ning Yan eased his emotions, suppressed the anger in his heart, and looked at Shinlang with suddenly sharp eyes. "Little bastard, usually you never set foot in the royal palace half a step if there's nothing. Coming voluntarily today is definitely not just to report Ning Han's matter, right? Speak, exactly what request do you have?" Shinlang heard this, the corner of his mouth hooked up lightly, then he restrained his expression and said seriously, "Your Majesty, do you remember yesterday this minister mentioned that the King of Chu and noble Lord Jean are secretly colluding, intending to join forces to deal with my Yu kingdom?" Hearing this, Ning Yan was first stunned, then signaled him to continue speaking. Shinlang stepped forward and said, "Your Majesty, this minister's strategy for breaking the situation remains unchanged. We actively invite the Chu kingdom to conduct a border hunt. My Yu kingdom and the Wu kingdom have a tradition of border hunting, but there is no precedent with the Chu kingdom. But precisely because of this, the King of Chu will harbor curiosity and greed. We only need to throw out a bet tempting enough to make him feel that this battle is bound to be a certain victory. Then there is no worry that he won't agree." This remark instantly plunged Ning Yan into deep thought. Half a while later, he said in a deep voice, "What do you want to use as a bet?" Shinlang smiled slightly, then said word by word, "Just use the 2,000 new troops to battle against the Chu kingdom's 5,000 elite troops. If our side is defeated, we will pay an indemnity of 800,000 gold coins, cede 23 border fortresses, and your majesty will personally write a letter of apology." Nonsense. After listening to Shinlang's proposal, Ning Yan felt like his whole person was going to explode. Just as he was preparing to get angry, he heard Shinlang continue, "Your Majesty, please quell your anger. Since this minister dares to set this bet, then there is full assurance, definitely not a reckless move. Given more time, this minister will definitely let you see a powerful and invincible transcendent army. In this hunt, we will also absolutely win without a doubt." After thinking again and again, Ning Yan asked through gritted teeth, "Then who do you plan to let take charge of this new army?" Shinlang blurted out without thinking, "Naturally it is His Highness Ning Yan. He will personally direct this operation." Hearing this, Ning Yan sneered, "You brat's abacus is playing quite well. If this battle is won, he can soar into the sky, right?" Shinlang shrugged his shoulders and chuckled, "Your Majesty clearly sees, but this matter is a win-win. Moreover, speaking of who benefits the most from this matter, isn't it ultimately Your Majesty? It should be known that although you defeated the King of Wu previously, the King of Chu's strength is far above the King of Wu. Think back to those years. You even suffered losses in his hands. This hunt, if we can win with fewer against more and defeat the King of Chu, then Your Majesty will definitely ascend to the peak of monarchs again, shaking the world with awe." Listening to Shinlang's vivid description, Ning Yan sneered, "Stinky brat, your army probably doesn't even have the first stroke of the character 8 yet, right? Yet you dare to brag big words in front of me." Shinlang replied with a face full of pride, "Your Majesty, look at what you're saying. I, Shinlang, do love to boast in front of you, but ask yourself, which time have the things this minister said not been fulfilled for you?" Ning Yan couldn't help frowning upon hearing this. This Shinlang brat indeed had the ability to turn decay into magic, but his own character also naturally naturally favored challenging seemingly impossible things. And right now, although his proposal seemed risky, it also hid a temptation hard to resist. Pondering for a long time, Ning Yan suddenly said in a deep voice, "No, your proposal is too absurd. I cannot take the future of the entire Yu kingdom to let you be willful. This matter will be discussed later. However, Shinlang, you surely know that I absolutely cannot agree to this matter today. What exactly is the real purpose of your coming today?" As soon as these words came out, Shinlang scratched his head and laughed. "Indeed, nothing can be hidden from your majesty. It's like this. Our Marquis of Chongping's mansion is too small, and under the gaze of everyone, it is really not good to secretly train new recruits. I was thinking that the northern park hunting ground over there has been abandoned all year round, and it's quite a pity not to use it. How about lending this place to us first?" As soon as these words came out, Ning Yuanxian's heart instantly burst into flames of anger. "I knew you, this little bastard, wouldn't get up early without profit. If you didn't have a request, I'm afraid you wouldn't take the initiative to enter the palace for 10 days or half a month. This time, I must properly dampen this brat's spirit, saving him from acting recklessly and demanding endlessly just because I dote on him." Thinking of this, Ning Yuanxian raised his eyebrows slightly, just preparing to speak out to make things difficult for Shinlang. Unexpectedly, at this time, only a loud clang was heard, and Shong Sher rushed in like a ball of leaping flames, pouncing straight at Ning Yuanxian. "Adoptive father, Sher is here. Haven't seen you for so long. Have you missed me?" This sudden move instantly stunned Shinlang in place, and the sovereign, who came back to his senses, hurriedly wanted to pull back his hand. After all, Shong Sher's waves were pressed tightly against him, making him, as an elder, feel extremely uncomfortable. Sher quickly let go. Men and women should not touch when giving or receiving things. How can you, a girl, pull a man's hand at will? Unexpectedly, Shong Sher didn't care about this at all, still hugging Ning Yuanxian's arm unscrupulously. "Sher wants a place. Will you give it to Sher, okay?" Her affected coquettish appearance instantly gave Shinlang goosebumps all over his body, and his face was written with undisguised disgust. Immersed in acting coquettishly, only then did Shong Sher suddenly realize there was someone else in the room. Turning her head to look, the moment she saw Shinlang, she was first stunned, then jumped up violently like a cat whose tail had been stepped on, pointing at Shinlang and scolding angrily, "Lecher, how come you are here?" However, Shinlang just glanced at her sideways upon hearing this, letting out a cold snort from his nasal cavity, too lazy to pay attention at all. Seeing his slighting attitude, Shong Sher was even more angry with fire spurting 3,000 feet, and immediately pounced back onto Ning Yuanxian, crying with red eyes. "This person bullied Sher. Then Sher now wants to ask you for two things. I want this Lecher's eyes. I brought 2,000 cavalry to the capital city this time, but have nowhere to station them. I want to use your northern park hunting ground as a garrison. You must agree to Sher, otherwise, people will pester you endlessly." At this moment, hearing that Shong Sher also came to ask for the northern park hunting ground, Shinlang's face suddenly sank. "Damn it, this female devil actually wants to grab territory with me." And Ning Yuanxian naturally also saw his ashen face, and couldn't help coughing lightly, pointing at Shinlang and saying, Sher, it's really unfortunate. I just promised the hunting ground to him." Shong Sher's eyes instantly widened in shock. It should be known that in the past, whatever she asked for, the sovereign had never declined even a bit. How could he brush off her wish today for a nameless brat? She suddenly turned her head and glared fiercely at Shinlang. "What kind of thing is this pretty boy? He actually dares to grab land with me, the grand aunt?" The moment her gaze fell on Shinlang's face, she only felt as if her heartbeat missed half a beat. Unexpectedly, upon closer inspection, this man was born so handsome, it could even be said that he was a few points more beautiful than the concubines in the harem. How could she think these things? Such a weak pretty boy. How could he catch her eye? Thinking of this, she suddenly jumped in front of Shinlang and clamored, "Who are you?" Shinlang raised his eyes indifferently, replying in a calm and waveless tone, "Shinlang." Hearing this name, Shong Sher was stunned. Then, as if remembering something, she stuck out her chest, circled him with a few points of sarcasm, and said, "You are that pretty boy matrilocal son-in-law Jean Mulan found?" She looked Shinlang up and down, the contempt in her eyes undisguised. Jean Mulan not only has mediocre martial arts, but her vision is also outrageously poor. She actually picked such an embroidered pillow like you who is good to look at but useless. In terms of appearance, she is inferior to me. In terms of martial arts bloodline, she is far inferior to me. Now even her husband is so useless. It seems she will never catch up to me in this life. Hearing Shong Sher constantly belittling Mulan in front of him, the air pressure around Shinlang became lower and lower, and the anger in the depths of his eyes had already started a prairie fire. Seeing the situation was not good, Ning Yuanxian hurriedly opened his mouth to smooth things over. Sher, I indeed have already bestowed the northern park hunting ground to Shinlang in Ningxing as a military training ground. This is a serious matter concerning the foundation of the state. I cannot break my promise. How about this? I give the West Garden Manor to you. How about it? That place has beautiful mountains and clear waters, much more comfortable than the northern park hunting ground. However, Shong Sher didn't buy it. It should be known that since childhood, there was only her share of grabbing other people's things, and no one had ever dared to snatch food from her hands. Suddenly her eyeballs rolled, and then she looked at Shinlang gloomily and said, "Pretty boy, even if adoptive adoptive father bestowed the hunting ground to you, so what? If you dare to step half a step inside, I dare to take the army in and drive you out. Try if you don't believe it. Hearing Shong Sher's naked threat, Ning Yan held his forehead and sighed helplessly. No choice. Who let this lawless little ancestor be the legitimate daughter of the Zhong clan? Now the border still has to rely on the Zhong clan to guard, so it is really inconvenient for him to be harsh. Shinlang, you can only pray for your own blessings. And Shinlang glanced at the embarrassed Ning Yan from the corner of his eye, then said coldly, Shong Sher, I heard that you were the one who injured my wife back then. Shong Sher raised her chin slightly, her tone extremely arrogant. That's right, back then I beat her until she vomited blood, paralyzed on the ground, unable to even crawl up. If there's blame, it can only be blamed on her martial arts being too weak, yet she still overrated herself to challenge me. Shinlang heard this and laughed instead of getting angry. Then have you ever heard of my ability? Your ability? Shong Sher seemed to hear a huge joke and couldn't help laughing. You trash scum are nothing but a pewter spearhead that looks like silver. I think you don't even have the strength to sleep with a woman. Waste like you is really rare in the world. Shinlang heard this and laughed instead of getting angry. So that's how you see me. Alright then, since both you and I want the Northern Park hunting ground, why don't we have a contest? Whoever wins, the Northern Park hunting ground belongs to whom? Shong Sher was stunned, then laughed out loud again. Jean Mulan wasn't my opponent back then. Now that she is riddled with severe injuries, she is even less worth looking at. Not her. Shinlang shook his head and interrupted her. The one competing with you is not my wife. As soon as these words came out, Ning Yan stood up in shock. You, Shinlang, want to compete in martial arts with Shong Sher? Are you kidding? Is your brat tired of living? However, before he could open his mouth to stop it, he saw Shong Sher jump up excitedly, her two eyes shining as she said, Are you sure you want to compete with me? What time? Shinlang replied firmly, Then let's set it for 3 days later. How about it? Shong Sher became even more excited upon hearing this. Then it's a deal. No going back. After speaking, without waiting for Shinlang's response, she rushed out of the imperial study without looking back. Ning Yan wanted to stop her, but Shong Sher didn't even leave him a chance, and instantly disappeared without a trace. And Shong Sher, who accepted the challenge, after repeatedly confirming that Shinlang was absolutely not joking, was afraid he would go back on his word, and actually rushed out of the imperial study with steps like wind, not even caring about the etiquette of bidding farewell to the sovereign. At this moment, Ning Yan looked at Shong Sher's back speeding away, stunned for a long while. Regaining his senses, he flew into a rage. Shinlang, you are simply messing around. Shong Sher is just coming to the capital city for a blind date. She will leave in a few days. Why do you insist on provoking this ancestor? Never mind. You leave the capital city immediately. Go home for a few days to avoid the limelight. It just happens that you have been away from home for more than half a year. Presumably your family members also miss you very much. Going back to accompany them for a period of time is also good. As soon as the voice fell, the Grand Eunuch Li Ji also hurried into the hall to persuade. Young Master Shin, Shong Sher's martial arts are far above your honorable wife. Even that lawless princess Ning Yan of ours has to fear her 3 points. Shinlang nodded calmly. I naturally know that with my body that lacks the strength to truss a chicken, even 100 of me can't match half a finger of hers. But this time, I have full assurance of winning. This debt of that stinky woman injuring my wife back then, I, Shinlang, must make her pay the price. Oh my, young Master Shin. Li Ji stomped his feet anxiously. Our family knows you have unparalleled resourcefulness, but exchanging moves in martial arts competition determines life and death in an instant. I'm afraid before you can display your schemes, that Shong Sher will have already knocked you down. Moreover, this woman has always been lawless. She will definitely not show mercy to you. How about you reconsider? Shinlang patted his shoulder and smiled. Thank you Eunuch Li for your concern, but don't worry. I, Shinlang, never fight a battle I'm not sure of. At this moment, Ning Yan, who had been silent for a long time at the side, looked at his solemn vowing appearance and couldn't help but be thoughtful. This stinky brat mostly already had an idea in his heart. Ning Yan got up and walked in front of Shinlang, saying in a deep voice, Kid, do you really have full assurance for this martial arts competition? Shinlang bowed. Your Majesty, please rest assured, this minister will definitely win steadily. Ning Yan sneered upon hearing this, walked past him towards the outside, suddenly stopped at the screen, and threw a sentence without looking back. Don't make too big a fuss. You need to grasp the propriety of this matter well. Shinlang immediately understood in his heart upon hearing this. After the sovereign left, a bad smile instantly hooked up on his face. Your Majesty actually didn't continue to oppose. It seems this is a tacit approval of this matter. It can be seen that he has long been unable to tolerate Shong Sher's spoiled and unreasonable behavior. It's just a pity that due to his identity, he couldn't really do anything to her. Since that's the case, let me help you vent your anger this time. In the evening, Shong Sher couldn't wait to order someone to send the challenge letter to the Marquis of Chomping's mansion. At this moment, Ning Han and Kui Chen looked at the challenge letter in Shinlang's hand with worry, but Shinlang showed not half a ripple on his face. In his view, what challenge letter did this big-breasted and brainless stupid woman Shong Sher write? Clearly, it was a life and death contract wanting to directly kill him. Shinlang's eyes suddenly burst out with an unprecedented madness. Picking up the the pen, he signed his name, Shong Sher, who dies at whose hand this time is really uncertain. At this moment, looking at Shinlang handing the signed challenge letter back to the messenger, the worry in Ning Zheng's heart became even worse. This Shinlang really makes decisions that scare people's souls out every few days. That Shong Sher can be described as an existence that the whole country avoids. How come he provoked her this time? After thinking again and again, he couldn't help persuading Shinlang. How about forgetting it this time? Don't go. Shinlang heard this and smiled. Your Highness, please rest assured, I, Shinlang, have never admitted defeat. Moreover, this time we will definitely win. Seeing Shinlang insisting on not compromising, Ning Jing gritted his teeth and said, Sorry Shinlang, I know Shong Sher's character too well. I cannot let you take this risk. Tie young master Shin up. As soon as this order came out, Wu Lai immediately stepped towards Shinlang and trapped him in place with just one hand. Master, excuse me, this subordinate cannot watch you go to die helplessly. Just as Shinlang was panicked and helpless, Jin Mutsong and Little Bing suddenly walked out from behind. Hearing Little Bing say pitifully, Young master, what the Fifth Highness did is exactly what we wanted to say. In this slave's heart, your current identity is not only the Jin family's son-in-law but also the father of the child in this slave's belly. If something happens to you, what should I and the child do? How should I explain to the young miss? Aside, Jin Mutsong hurriedly echoed, Yes, brother-in-law, you eat chicken can't even beat me. If you really fight, I'm afraid that Shong Sher can kill you in a second with one finger. Seeing everyone uniting to stop him from competing, Shinlang panicked completely. Quickly stop. Listen to me. I will definitely win this time. Believe me. Ning Jing sighed. Shinlang, the situation is special this time. No matter what, you must listen to everyone. Leader of 1,000 households Ku, please trouble you to take young Master Shin back to mythical Turtle City. Let him accompany his family at home recently. Kui Chen immediately accepted the order, then completely ignoring how Shinlang struggled, directly carried him on his shoulder and strode towards the door. At midnight, the carriage of the Marquis of Changping's mansion, under the escort of the female army soldiers, was driving towards the direction of mythical Turtle City. Inside the carriage, Shinlang was sighing repeatedly with a face full of despair. Heavens, since I, Shinlang, debuted and roamed until now, I haven't fallen into the hands of two Chang kings, nor was I crushed by Sunan. I didn't expect that in the end, I would fall under the joint scheme of this group of pig teammates. Right now, having just signed the contract, I was forced to flee in panic. I'm afraid Shong Sher doesn't know how she will mock me yet. Just as Shinlang was worried, Kui Chen beside him suddenly changed his face drastically. There is killing intent outside the carriage approaching us. While speaking, he had already lifted the curtain and leaped down from the carriage. Almost at the same time he landed, dozens of figures of experts blocked in front of the carriage like ghosts. Just as the two sides were in a stalemate, Shong Sher and Xue Pan walked out slowly from the dark. Shong Sher hooked her red lips slightly, her tone full of sarcasm saying, Shinlang, I thought you had such great ability. I didn't expect that just after signing the contract with me, you would want to flee back to mythical Turtle City like a bereaved dog so quickly. At this moment, Kui Chen saw the two were unkind and immediately drew his sword out of its sheath, assuming a defensive posture, shouting sternly, Protect the young master's safety with me. Before the voice fell, dozens more experts rushed out from the grass on both sides instantly, surrounding the carriage tightly. Kui Chen's eyes turned cold upon seeing this. Just these few people? Come together and see if I, Ku Tuhuan, can still fight 1 against 100 today. Seeing the two sides were about to fight, Big Fool and Sword King Li Qianxiu suddenly appeared, blocking in front of Kui Chen. At this time, only hearing Li Qianxiu say in a deep voice, Chen, turn around and go back to the capital city. Kui Chen heard this and just wanted to refuse when he was interrupted coldly by Li Qianxiu, his tone carrying an unquestionable majesty. Leader of 1,000 households Ku, returned to the capital city immediately. Listening to Li Qianxiu's tone with no room for maneuver, Kui Chen could only turn his head helplessly and order, Everyone, turn around, return to the capital city. Watching the carriage returning to the capital city, Shong Sher, standing in place, couldn't help revealing a sneer on her face. Since you signed the contract with me, do you think you can still escape? Don't you want to avenge Jean Mulan? This time, I will definitely beat you until you can't get up, letting you watch helplessly as the Jean family completely becomes the laughingstock of the people of the world. A moment later in the carriage, Shinlang looked at Li Qianxiu beside him who was trembling all over from holding back laughter, and said grumpily, Senior Sword King, if you want to laugh, just laugh. As soon as his voice fell, Li Qianxiu laughed out loud, completely letting go of his emotions. Shinlang, oh Shinlang, I didn't expect that one day I would still be able to see such a deflated look on your face. It's really not easy. But don't take your anger out on them regarding this matter. Speaking of which, His Highness Ning Sheng and the others care about you too much. That's why they made such a bad plan. After all, the things you are going to do next are extremely dangerous. They really don't want to see you have an accident. Shinlang nodded his chin lightly, his tone carrying a few points of helplessness. Of course I understand their feelings. How could I blame these muddle-headed eggs? At this time, Li Qianxiu suddenly changed the subject. But young Master Shin, are you sure you want to use such a precious thing on Shong Sher? Hearing this, a gloomy sneer suddenly swept across Shinlang's face. Being able to avenge my Mulan baby, using this thing is not considered a waste. Time passed passed in a flash, and soon it came to the day Shinlang and Shong Sher agreed to compete. Countless dignitaries moved upon hearing the news, rushing to the northern park hunting ground one after another, each with a mocking expression of watching the fun on their faces, all wanting to witness with their own eyes the good show of Shinlang being humiliated in every way. On the other side, the sovereign could no longer sit idly by, and immediately sent Li Ji and Li Yan to convey the decree to the two. In this competition, both sides should stop at the point, and absolutely no harm to life is allowed. After receiving the decree, the corner of Shong Sher's mouth couldn't help hooking up a cold smile. Shinlang, just relax. I won't let you die easily. I will only cripple that little ability you are proud of, making you a useless person for the rest of your life, living in humiliation forever. And on Shinlang's side, he basically had no intention of killing Shong Sher. After all, that would be too easy for her. What he, Shinlang, wanted was to let Shong Sher taste all the suffering Mulan had suffered, to let her fall into the abyss of despair bit by bit under the gaze of everyone. On the northern park hunting ground, in order to let everyone see Shinlang's embarrassing state of being suppressed more intuitively, Shong Sher actually ordered people to build a temporary viewing platform capable of accommodating fully several hundred people in the field. 4th Prince Ning Yan and 6th Prince Ning Jing were originally the Crown Prince's partisans. Naturally, they were unwilling to miss this good show of watching Ning Jing and Shinlang make fools of themselves, so both arrived at the scene as promised. Listening to the ridicule of the crowd behind them about Shinlang overrating himself, Ning Jing directly reached out and hooked Ning Jin's neck. 4th brother, say, why is this Shinlang so impatient to seek death? Could it be because those 11 beggars making the list gave him chips to seize the airship, so he doesn't know how much he weighs? Aside, Ning Jin also chimed in, 6th brother, didn't you see your 5th brother is so nervous now that he has no mind to pay attention to you? Ning Jing laughed immediately upon hearing this. Right, it's my fault. I forgot that 5th brother stammers as soon as he gets nervous. I think we should sit a bit further away, in case 5th brother gets unhappy and lets his 11 beggars come to find trouble with us. It wouldn't be good. However, before his voice could fall, the sound of hurried horse hoofs came from the distance. Everyone looked towards the sound and saw Shong Sher in a red robe fluttering in the wind, her eyes sharp like unsheathed blades, galloping on a 1,000-mile horse. Her bright and flamboyant figure instantly ignited a raging fire of desire in the hearts of Ning Yan and Ning Jing. A moment later, Shong Sher spurred the horse to the front of the viewing platform, rotated her waist, and leaped down from the horse with a dashing and neat flip. Seeing this, Ning Yan hurriedly stood up with a face full of flattery and went forward to welcome her diligently. Sister Sher, you finally came. But Shong Sher didn't even give him a straight look, directly ignoring his existence, turning and walking towards the temporary camp. Ning Jing saw it clearly from the side and instantly felt a piercing embarrassment for 4th brother. Fortunately, he didn't rush forward to strike up a conversation just now, otherwise, 2 princes being ignored one after another would really be losing face to the extreme. At this time, the Shui clan heir Shui Pan, who came with Shong Sher, in order to break the awkwardness, hurriedly stepped forward and bowed, paying respects to 4th Highness, 5th Highness, 6th Highness. Seeing this, the 3 princes also stood up to return the salute. Just then, someone on the stand above shouted, look quickly, Shinlang and the others have come. Everyone looked at the sound and saw Shinlang riding high-headed horses with Kui Chen and others, coming over arrogantly. His gaze swept across the whole venue, and he teased in a frivolous tone, surprisingly so many audience members came today. Thank you all brothers for coming to support. As soon as these words came out, the whole venue instantly erupted in a burst of booing. Someone even shouted at the top of his voice, Shinlang, don't be proud. We came here just to see how you get castrated. This pretty boy of yours probably won't be able to eat soft rice anymore, right? As soon as these words came out, it instantly caused the whole venue to roar with laughter endlessly. However, Shinlang was not angry after hearing this, but laughed instead. Then I won't trouble you all to worry, for a man unparalleled in the world like me, even if I really become Dongfang Booby, so what? I have looks and talent, and can still live prosperously. Moreover, I, Shinlang, will win this martial arts competition without a doubt. His words instantly caused the crowd to boo again and again. Someone retorted loudly, Shinlang, don't make reckless remarks here. If you are really not afraid of death, why did you flee back to mythical Turtle City overnight the night before last? Shinlang shrugged his shoulders and said, that's right, I did leave the night before last, but I did that to give Shong Sher a way out. You probably don't know. She is in her menstrual period these 2 days. You say if I win, wouldn't she be bleeding from both top and bottom? In this way, wouldn't it seem like I am taking advantage of someone's precarious position? So after learning about this matter, I quickly left. Shinlang's extremely frivolous words instantly stunned everyone present, and at this moment, Shong Sher, who was preparing in the camp, felt like her whole person was going to explode after hearing these words. I, Shong Sher, growing up so big, when have I ever suffered such extraordinary shame and humiliation? You scum, simply seeking death. Shui, who had been accompanying her all along, grabbed her at this moment and persuaded, Sher, don't be impulsive. The martial arts competition is starting soon. It won't be too late to teach him a good lesson when you get on the field later. Shong Sher took a deep breath upon hearing this, forcibly suppressing the anger anger in her heart. I absolutely cannot be impulsive now. Later when I get on the martial arts field, I will have a reason to castrate and then kill this scum first. At that time, all grievances can be eliminated together. Unexpectedly, at this time, Shinlang outside the camp shouted loudly again. Since words have come to this point, then I won't hide it. The night before last, I actually just wanted to let Shong Sher, this big-breasted, foul-mouthed, brainless woman, off the hook, but I didn't expect she wouldn't appreciate it and actually led the army to stop us directly, since she is rushing to seek death so much. Then when the fighting starts later, everyone don't blame me for making her splatter blood all over her body. Hearing Shinlang's extremely insulting words, the fire that had just been suppressed in Shong Sher's heart rose again. She suddenly drew her sharp sword and wanted to rush out. Shinlang, you brute, scum, I will take your dog life right now. Seeing this, Shue rushed to the door with an arrow step, blocking in front of her. Sure, calm down. Haven't you realized that Shinlang is deliberately provoking you? And just as Shue said, at this moment Shinlang was looking at their camp with a playful face. Didn't expect this Shong Sher to really be able to keep her cool. I've trampled her to this extent, yet she still hasn't come out to fight back. Really boring. Thinking of this, he lazily turned the horse's head, and then said to Kui Chen beside him, Brother Ku, let's go change costumes. Prepare to start this good show. A moment later, under Shue's gentle persuasion, Shong Sher's emotions finally calmed down. Sure, that fellow Shinlang is treacherous by nature. You must not be led by the nose by him. I heard he has a hidden weapon called Rainstorm of Hidden Blades. After going on the field later, you must be doubly careful. Shong Sher disdained. I naturally know his hidden weapon. The launch speed is too slow. I can easily block it by raising my hand. No need to worry at all. What's more, the rules are also written very clearly, explicitly prohibiting bringing hidden weapons into the field. Even if Shinlang has ability as big as the sky, it is absolutely impossible for him to bring it in. Shue was still a bit worried after hearing this. Words are said like this, but Shinlang also has a hallucinogenic poison that can confuse people's minds, making it impossible to guard against. You must be extra guarded at that time. Remember to hold your breath when approaching him to prevent inhaling the poisonous gas. Shong Sher nodded, gritting her teeth upon hearing this. Don't worry, this time I must give him a fierce lesson, making this scum regret provoking me. Seeing she listened to the advice, Shue quietly breathed a sigh of relief. She had said everything she should say. This way, it should be foolproof. Shinlang, so what if you are treacherous again? This time as long as Shong Sher is extra guarded, then today you will definitely die without a doubt. As the Blackwater platform warrior finished announcing the competition rules, this duel between Shinlang and Shong Sher officially kicked off. Shong Sher, with a face full of killing intent, walked aggressively into the center of the field, while Shinlang wore soft armor with a bright sword at his waist. At first glance, he actually had a few points of heroic spirit. At this time, looking at the stands again, countless noble children could no longer restrain the excitement in their hearts, all waiting to watch the good show of Shinlang being insulted in every way. In their view, this martial arts competition had absolutely no suspense. Ultimately, it would definitely be the ending of Shinlang being instantly killed by one move. Regarding this, Shinlang just glanced sideways at the stands, then turned his head to look at Shong Sher, his tone full of playfulness. Only it's a pity that I'm afraid they will be disappointed today. You mother yiksha actually have quite a few brain-dead male fans. Speaking to this point, a bad smile suddenly rose on Shinlang's face. Eldest Miss Zhong, the smell of blood on your body is so heavy today. It seems you really are in your menstrual period. Be careful not to let that piece of thing fall out after starting later. Shong Sher was stunned upon hearing this, but before she could react, Shinlang suddenly raised his pitch and shouted, Shong Sher, back then you secretly laid a vicious hand to injure my wife Jean Mulan, causing her internal injuries to not heal until today. I, Shinlang, engrave this hatred in my heart. Today I must beat you until your skin splits and flesh opens, to relieve the hatred in the hearts of me and my wife. This remark instantly agitated Shong Sher until her face was red and ears red. Too cheap, Shinlang, your mouth is really too cheap. Today I must cut off your tongue, chop off your limbs, and let the rest of your life pay a painful price for this cheap mouth of yours. Finishing speaking, she shouted angrily and wanted to pounce and kill towards Shinlang. But at this moment, a faint peculiar smell suddenly drifted into her nose, making her instantly remember Shue's warning. This bitch Shinlang just wants to enrage me. From now on I must hold my breath, and absolutely cannot give him any chance to take advantage of the void. Seeing this, the corner of Shinlang's mouth slowly hooked up a weird smile. Then he pretentiously drew the sword at his waist. Taking advantage of the gap when Shong Sher focused on guarding, he calmly pressed a hidden mechanism on the scabbard, then seemingly unintentionally threw the scabbard out. The moment the scabbard landed, a large amount of colorless and odorless ether quietly permeated. Little did she know that this ether was just a carrier. The real killer was the neurotoxin secreted by the floating mountain cursed bugs hidden within it, which even Grandmaster Shuein found difficult to resist. Looking at Shong Sher, who was fully guarded, Shinlang couldn't help sneering in his heart. Stupid woman, do you think holding your breath is useful? This kind of toxin doesn't just invade the body by breathing but can also penetrate through the skin. As long as your exposed skin touches this gas, it will make you fall into whole body paralysis paralysis instantly. As the opening gong sounded, Shong Sher's figure had already ejected like an arrow leaving the string, a tight outfit outlining a vigorous figure, sharp eyes locking dead on the opposite Shinlang, footsteps under her feet rushing straight towards him fast as shooting stars. However, just as everyone was looking forward eagerly, waiting to see the scene of Shinlang being taught a hard lesson, Shong Sher, who had just rushed out less than 2 meters, suddenly stagnated in shape, her whole person seeming to be suddenly imprisoned by invisible shackles, the strength of her whole body seeming to be instantly evacuated. Her pair of originally sharp eagle-like eyes were now full of shock and blankness, and her delicate body fell forward uncontrollably. Seeing this, Shinlang knew the time had come. Immediately shouting violently, he rushed to the front, taking 2 steps in one. The moment before Shong Sher smashed onto the ground, Shinlang raised his foot and kicked fiercely on her chest. This kick with extremely majestic force actually kicked her flying backward directly. When she landed heavily, a dull loud noise exploded in the field. Immediately after, Shinlang still didn't give up. He stepped forward with an arrow step, flipped over and rode on her body, clenched his fist, aimed at her peerlessly beautiful face, and smashed out a set of bastard punches fiercely. Watching Shinlang's fighting style of fists hitting flesh, at this moment the cheers on the stand stopped abruptly. Everyone's eyes widened, and the excitement on their faces had long frozen into astonishment. What is the situation? That insufferably arrogant Shong Sher was actually ridden under the body and beaten up by Shinlang, this pretty boy? Accompanying the fall of the last punch, Shong Sher's face, which once toppled all living beings, had already been beaten beyond recognition. The originally exquisite features swelled into a ball, vividly becoming a pig head appearance. When everything ended, Shinlang looked at Shong Sher under him, who had long been unconscious, and couldn't help letting out a long sigh of relief. Today's beating was really too satisfying. Mulan baby, if you knew your husband avenged you, you would definitely be very happy. And at this moment on the stands, the dignitaries looked at each other, faces full of disbelief. Even the usually steady and calm Pan was shocked in place. What happened just now? Why did Shong Sher have no power to fight back? Didn't Shinlang always pride himself on being a wise man, acting rigorously without messing around? Why did he dare to be so unscrupulous today, laying such a heavy hand on the Zhong legitimate daughter? Pan dared not think more, hurriedly greeting Zhong Miao with a pale face beside him, rushing down the stand, hurriedly taking a white gauze to cover Shong Sher's horrible face. Her appearance absolutely could not be seen by outsiders. The face of the Zhong family would be considered completely lost. Having done all this, Zhong Miao turned around suddenly, glaring at Shinlang and roaring, "Shinlang, exactly what did you do to her? If anything happens to Sher this time, the Zhong family will absolutely not let you off." Shinlang heard this, slowly took out a handkerchief to wipe the blood stains on his fingers, then opened his mouth contemptuously. "You are that snobbish adopted daughter of the Zhong clan, Zhong Miao, right?" Hearing the word snobbish instantly ignited Zhong Miao's anger. She pointed violently at Shinlang and said angrily, "Shinlang, don't be too arrogant. You have caused such a monstrous disaster today. You'd better obediently bind yourself and follow me to Westgard City to plead guilty to adoptive father. Otherwise, adoptive father will definitely cramp your muscles and peel your skin, leaving you without a burial place." Hearing Zhong Miao's threat, Shinlang just responded with a lukewarm "oh," then raised his hand and waved. Shin 13 immediately understood and delivered a cup of tea steadily to Shinlang's hand in just 3 breaths' time. Shinlang picked up the cup, took a mouthful of tea to rinse, and before everyone could react, sprayed it directly on Zhong Miao's face. His sudden move made Zhong Miao freeze instantly in place. At this time, Shinlang walked slowly in front of her, sneering, "Really? What kind of master is what kind of dog? The words spoken are equally annoying. You should rejoice that I showed mercy, otherwise what's sprayed on your face right now wouldn't be water, but my urine." As soon as these words came out, Zhong Miao was instantly both shocked and angry. Shinlang, this scum, not only injured Sher but also dared to speak such wild words. Was he really not afraid of offending my Zhong family? Shinlang looked at her exasperated appearance and couldn't help laughing out loud. Your Zhong family wouldn't be unable to afford to lose, right? If the one lying on the ground right now was me, would you let me off? I'm afraid you would definitely break my hands and feet, then ruin my face, right? Could it be that the Zhong family motto is only allowing one's own family to bully others? Speaking to this point, Shinlang suddenly pretended to be surprised. Heavens, so your Zhong family actually has such monstrous authority in His Majesty's imperial city. As soon as these words came out, everyone present instantly turned pale. Pan could no longer restrain himself and opened his mouth to scold. Shinlang, stop talking nonsense with such treasonous words. Moreover, you clearly cheated secretly in the martial arts competition just now. Isn't that openly violating the competition rules? Hearing the word cheating, Zhong Miao instantly gained confidence. She raised her head violently, pointed at Shinlang and roared, "Shinlang, you despicable villain, exactly what crooked ways did you use to injure my Sher? If relying on true strength, one of Sher's fingers could crush you to death." Shinlang heard this and curled his lips disdainfully. Eldest young master Shua, rice can be eaten indiscriminately, but words cannot be spoken indiscriminately. Which eye of yours saw me cheating? Could it be the one growing on your butt? His filthy language instantly angered Zhong Miao so much that she trembled all over. over, immediately drawing her sword to kill Shinlang. Kui Chen, who had been watching the changes quietly beside, blocked in front of Shinlang with a flash, then said lightly, "Everyone, admit defeat if you bet. Don't let the Zhong clan lose face in the Yu kingdom for a moment of spirit." As soon as this remark came out, the faces of Shui Pan and Zhong Miao instantly turned iron green with anger, but they dared not make things difficult anymore. Shinlang smiled contemptuously upon seeing this, then turned directly and mounted the horse to leave. However, just after running a few dozen meters, he turned back again. This time he went straight to Shui Pan and his sister and said, "When Shong Sher wakes up, tell her, since she lost according to the bet, then now the northern park hunting ground belongs to me, Shinlang. This place doesn't welcome people from the Shui clan and Zhong clan. You guys get out quickly." As the voice fell, he suddenly looked at Shui, who had been silent aside, and said with a half smile, "You are that adopted daughter Shui of Sword King Li Qianqiu." Hearing the Sword King's name, panic clearly flashed in Shui's eyes, but she quickly hid all emotions, lowered her eyes and said softly, "Young Master Shin probably recognized the wrong person. This little girl has lived in the deep boudoir for a long time, and doesn't know any Sword King Li Qianqiu at all." Shinlang heard this and sneered, then extended his thumb and dropped 3 words, "You are really awesome." After speaking, he turned and left the hunting ground. At this moment, looking at Shinlang's departing back, Shui's heart couldn't help tightening. Did Shinlang know about that matter? Has she been targeted by him? At this time, Zhong Miao walked quickly to Shui Pan and asked through gritted teeth, "What to do now? Today's matter concerns the Zhong clan's face. We absolutely cannot let it go like this." Shui Pan said coldly with a gloomy face, "No rush. Inform Consort Jean and Lord Zhong Yi of this matter." Zhong Miao nodded. "With the consort and Lord Zhong Yi standing up for us, Shinlang is dead for sure." The matter of Shinlang beating Shong Sher in the martial arts competition ultimately caused a huge uproar. Bureau of Military Affairs Deputy Envoy Zhong Yi and Third Prince Ning Chi were furious after learning of this matter, but due to their identities, even though the two were full of anger, they could only forcibly suppress it, daring not to rashly advance to complain to the sovereign. However, although they couldn't, the one who could justifiably go to the sovereign to ask for an explanation was the most spicy among the 4 consorts of the harem, Consort Jean. Now that her most beloved niece from her maternal family was injured by Shinlang, how could she let go of such extraordinary shame and humiliation? At this moment, Consort Jean rushed straight into the sovereign's sleeping palace with a face full of anger, roaring sternly, "Ning Yan, that little beast Shinlang broke my Sher's nose bridge, ruined her face, and kicked her ribs broken. You must give me an explanation for this matter." Her roar instantly scared Li Ji into a shiver. "This grand aunt, recently she has been in a cold war with your majesty, and now she comes to inquire about crimes for Zhong Sher's matter. Is it still in time for me to hide out now?" While thinking, he saw Consort Zhong pointing at the sovereign and scolding angrily, "Ning Yan, if you don't punish Shinlang today, then I will personally send people to arrest him." Seeing her being so domineering, Ning Yan also held his forehead helplessly. He certainly knew Shinlang would definitely win this time. This little beast actually laid such a heavy hand on a beautiful delicate doll like Zhong Sher. However, even so, looking at the angry Consort Zhong in front of him, he couldn't help but give birth to a few points of anger in his heart. Throughout the dynasties, which concubine dared to scold a ruler of a country by name like this? This Zhong clan is really becoming more and more lawless. However, helpless that not only can I not touch her now, but I have to coax her well. Shinlang, oh Shinlang, you really know how to cause trouble for me." After sighing, Ning Yan took a step forward and encircled Consort Zhong's waist, saying softly, "Beloved concubine, calm down. Why do you need to personally take action for such rough work? If you get tired, I will feel distressed." After speaking, he lowered his head and kissed her soft lips. The sovereign's sudden ambiguous move instantly made the little deer bump around in Consort Zhong's heart. Her cheeks instantly dyed with blush, and she pushed and rubbed coquettishly. "What are you doing? Didn't you say a few days ago that you wanted to sever kindness and righteousness with this concubine?" Ning Yan laughed softly. "Baby, how does the saying go? Rather believe there are ghosts in the world than believe a man's mouth." Finishing speaking, he lowered his head and kissed her neck and shoulder again. At this moment, Consort Zhong's original chest full of anger was finally completely melted by this gentle offensive. Li Ji, who was guarding the side, saw this and hurriedly retreated sensibly. Before leaving, he stole a glance at the two and couldn't help letting out a long sigh of relief. It was really a false alarm. Shinlang could be considered a blessing in disguise this time, letting your majesty and Consort Jean, who had been in a cold war for half a year, reconcile. Little did he know that just as Li Ji closed the palace door, Ning Yan on the bed cursed Shinlang in his heart. "Shinlang, you little beast, in order to protect you, I even used the handsome man trap." Consort Jean is simply like an insatiable glutton in this aspect. My old waist is afraid not to be kept tonight. Doing the play to the full set. Although the sovereign risked his old life to charm Consort Jean until her soul turned upside down, making her throw this matter to the back of her mind, on the surface, he still let Li Ji tie Shinlang up and beat him with boards severely in public. Of course, this was just a play deliberately acted for some people to see. After returning to the mansion, Shinlang couldn't help secretly praising in his heart, "This eunuch Li really thinks more and more thoroughly. This time not only did he thicken the butt pad, bad, but he also increased the blood bag capacity, making it look more realistic. Fearing the shouting wasn't miserable enough, he specially let the little apprentice hide in the dark to cooperate with his rhythm to let out miserable cries. His arrangement is so comprehensive, it seems I must thank him properly when there is a chance. Early the next morning in the imperial study, the sovereign, who had been a plow ox all night, was eating the supplements Shinlang specially made for him while flipping through books. At this time, Uncle Prince Ning Chi strode over, bowed, and said bluntly, "You should know the intention of this old subject's trip. Don't you feel you are too indulgent towards Shinlang?" Hearing this, Ning Yan just looked up at him and didn't pick up the conversation. Seeing this, Ning Chi could only continue. This son is now rampant to the point of lawlessness in the capital city. That Shong Sher came to the capital city this time originally to conclude a marriage alliance with the son of Prince Wu of Great Flame, but now Shinlang beat her until she was disfigured. With this appearance, how can she still discuss marriage? Moreover, Marquis Zhong is a pillar supporting the military in my Yu kingdom, and she is the legitimate eldest daughter regarded as a treasure by the Zhong clan. If this matter is handled improperly, it will not only cause Marquis Zhong to have resentment in his heart but also anger Prince Wu of Great Flame. At that time, with difficulties inside and outside, the consequences will be unimaginable. As the voice fell, Ning Yan just nodded pretentiously seriously, ate the supplement in his hand, and said unhurriedly, "What Uncle Prince said makes sense. Precisely because of this, yesterday I already severely punished Shinlang in public, beating him half to death. I heard that when he was carried back to the mansion, he was already gasping for breath, hanging by a thread." As soon as these words came out, Ning Chi was instantly speechless. "Who is your majesty fooling with these words? Does he really think I am too old to distinguish that it was a play?" Suppressing the helplessness in his heart, he continued to persuade bitterly, "Your majesty, please listen to a word from the bottom of this old subject's heart. This son Shinlang absolutely cannot be indulged anymore, and absolutely cannot be entrusted with heavy responsibilities." Ning Yan heard this and followed the words perfunctorily. "Uncle Prince, you are extremely right, so I have already dismissed all his official positions. Even the identity of the city lord of Distant Guard City has been revoked together." Seeing the sovereign defending Shinlang like this, Uncle Prince Ning Chi could only sigh helplessly. He had said everything he should say. If his majesty still insisted on going his own way, he really had no other way. At the same time, a secret meeting was being held inside the Crown Prince's residence. The chief clerk of the Crown Prince was laughing with a face full of gloating. Shinlang really poked a hole in the sky this time. Now even if your majesty is partial to him again, he still has to find a suitable reason to give an explanation to Marquis Zhong Yao and Prince Wu of Great Flame. In my opinion, even if he doesn't die this time, he will have to shed a layer of skin. As soon as the voice fell, Zhuo Xiaoyan couldn't help laughing out loud. Yan Wujin aside shook his head even more, picked up the teacup, and opened his mouth slowly. "You are wrong. At this time the sovereign doesn't have enough time to be grateful to Shinlang, so how could he really punish him?" These words instantly made the chief clerk completely confused. "Grateful? How is this possible?" Yan Wujin put down the cup and began to analyze slowly. "Think carefully. If Shinlang just wanted to win against Shong Sher, he could just use tricks secretly to defeat her. Why bother laying such a heavy hand, deliberately beating her face beyond recognition?" The chief clerk thought for a while and replied, "Could it not be to vent anger for Jean Mulan?" "No." Yan Wujin immediately interrupted him and continued, "Shinlang's move is actually to ruin the marriage between Shong Sher and the son of Prince Wu. He is sharing the sovereign's worries and solving difficulties." As soon as these words came out, the chief clerk's eyes almost popped out in shock. At this time, Zhuo Xiaoyan took over the conversation. "Don't forget that the Zhong clan is a subject holding the military power of the Yu kingdom. How could your majesty be willing to let Shong Sher marry into the Great Flame royal family and have marriage connections with the empire's high levels?" However, the son of Prince Wu fell in love at first sight with the peerlessly beautiful Shong Sher. Even if your majesty was unwilling in his heart, he couldn't stop it on the surface. Now that Shinlang has disfigured Shong Sher, it is equivalent to ruining this blind date in disguise. His move not only followed your majesty's wish but also carried the black pot for your majesty. Say, can your majesty not be grateful to him in his heart? And how could he bear to really punish him? After being analyzed like peeling a cocoon and spinning silk by the two, the Crown Prince's chief clerk finally woke up and instantly couldn't help breaking out in a cold sweat. So that's how it is. No wonder Shong Sher came to the capital city. Obviously this is Zhong Yao expressing his attitude to your majesty. Even if allied with the Great Flame royal family by marriage, the Zhong clan is still loyal to the Yu kingdom, loyal to the monarch. But even so, how could your majesty truly be happy to see a subject holding heavy power have marriage connections with the empire's high levels? However, the chief clerk calmed down and questioned hesitantly again, could it be that this martial arts competition was a play acted by the two, with your majesty instructing Shinlang in advance? Yan Wujin shook his head. How is that possible? It's just that for a person as extremely smart as Shinlang, there is no need for your majesty to open his mouth, or even need a look, to be able to know what your majesty thinks in his heart. Moreover, since your majesty can regard him as his own, how could there not be even this bit of tacit understanding between the two of them? Once these words fell, the Crown Prince's chief clerk was shocked into sitting back on the chair, murmuring in a low voice after a long while. This son Shinlang is indeed a monster. Not long after the storm of Shinlang seriously injuring Shong Sher passed, Prince Lian of the Great Flame Empire sent a messenger to deliver a letter to Ning Yan. However, when seeing the sentence "Allow Ning Yan to divorce my son" in the letter, he instantly felt mixed flavors in his heart. Borrowing the matter of Shinlang injuring Shong Sher, he inadvertently pleased Prince Lian, who had always been at odds with Prince Wu, so the other party relented and agreed to the divorce of the two children. But he didn't expect that every sentence described in the letter revealed that it was done by another person, his second daughter Ning Han. Putting down the letter, Ning Yan couldn't help letting out a long sigh. Unexpectedly, Ning Han's face was actually bigger than his, the father who was the ruler of a country. It should be known that during this period, he specially let Yun Mengza act as a lobbyist and go back to the Flame capital to negotiate the divorce matter. However, after expending the strength of 9 bulls and 2 tigers, he still failed to succeed. But Ning Han used only one sentence, without even stepping into the Flame capital, to easily make Prince Lian take the initiative to write a letter agreeing to the divorce matter. Just as he was thinking, Li Ji said again, "Your Majesty." Prince Lian's messenger also said that Princess Ning Yan is pure and kind by nature, and the fault of this marriage lies entirely with his son. Therefore, he will not only return the princess's dowry and marriage certificate in full, but also wants to adopt the princess as an adopted daughter. When the princess remarries in the future, he will definitely present a dowry of the highest specification and personally see the princess off for marriage. Hearing these words, Ning Yan, who was secretly delighted just now, instantly fell into melancholy again. Right now, although Ning Yan has restored her free body, she has had illicit relations with Shinlang more than once recently, and was even caught in the act. With her current situation, can she really still get married in the future? The most critical thing is that Shinlang, this little beast, is now addicted to being a matrilocal son-in-law, let alone marrying Ning Yan. He even dismisses the honored position of the Yu Kingdom's prince consort. But if Ning Yan is released from the ban now, I believe in less than 2 days, these two little bastards will sleep together again. At this moment, the more Ning Yan thought, the angrier he got. How could his Yu Kingdom's golden branch and jade leaf be willing to be entangled unclear with a married man like this? Thinking over and over, Ning Yan couldn't help scolding hatefully, "I really want to castrate that bastard boy Shinlang and throw him into the palace." Beside him, Li Ji couldn't help shivering upon hearing this, praying in his heart, "Your Majesty, please don't think randomly. If this ancestor really enters the palace, then we probably won't have good days after returning." Looking at Li Ji's cowardly appearance, Ning Yan let out another long sigh helplessly. Really, a grown girl cannot be kept. Go release Ning Yan. Since she is willing to fool around with Shinlang without name or title like this, then let her be. On the day Ning Yan was released from the ban, she didn't enter the palace to thank the grace at the first moment, but took 2 bottles of good wine and ran to find Shinlang. Shinlang was also very happy to see her released, and directly welcomed the person into the mansion without thinking much. However, after 3 rounds of drinking, the atmosphere at the table gradually became ambiguous. At this moment, Ning Yan, borrowing the drunkenness, had cheeks flushed red, staring at Shinlang with eyes full of shyness and deep attachment. That gaze made Shinlang's hair stand on end all over his body. He couldn't help swallowing a mouthful of saliva, opening his mouth and stuttering, "What are you looking at me like this for?" However, before his voice could fall, Ning Yan actually pounced directly towards him. Caught off guard, Shinlang instantly exclaimed aloud, "You are drunk, let go of me quickly." However, all struggles were futile. Ning Yan, after getting drunk, actually had strength a few points greater than usual. Shinlang, who lacked the strength to truss a chicken, was pressed down onto the bed without any power to resist at all. Back and forth, half refusing and half accepting, the two still rolled together. After half an hour of fierce battle, Shinlang lay paralyzed on the bed, sore and weak all over, staring blankly at the ceiling, endless regret surging from the bottom of his heart. How did I muddle-headedly reach this step with Ning Yan again? Carrying a few points of annoyance, he complained in a muffled voice, "Ning Yan, didn't we agree to be brothers for a lifetime?" Hearing these words, Ning Yan raised her head violently and said firmly, "Shinlang, I don't want to be your brother anymore. I want to be your woman." Ning Yan's sudden confession directly stunned Shinlang. What did he just hear? Is this still that Ning Yan he knew, placed in the past? Ning Yan absolutely could not speak such words. Could this woman have been possessed? Seeing Shinlang staring blankly without speaking, Ning Yan's eyes softened instantly, and she said with a tone full of grievance, "Shinlang, during this period of being grounded, I truly saw my own heart clearly. Every day I opened my eyes and closed my eyes. My brain was full of your figure. I love you, Shinlang. Just let me be your woman." Looking at the pitiful Ning Yan before his eyes, Shinlang sighed helplessly. "Ning Yan, you know, it is impossible for me to marry you. How about this? We simply be brothers during the day and roll the sheets at night. How about it?" As soon as these words came out, Ning Yan instantly exploded. "I don't want to be any brothers with you. I just want to be your woman openly and honestly. I want to move over and live with you, never separating in this life." She flipped over and straddled directly on Shinlang's waist, her tone carrying an unquestionable dominance. "Surnamed Shen, today you have to agree even if you don't agree. The matter is settled like this. Let's have another battle." Shinlang turned pale with shock upon hearing this. "I can't hold on anymore." However, However, before he could refuse, a hearty and dripping fierce battle started again. The scene shifts to our Mulan baby. Several months ago, after learning that Qiu Yaoer and Little Bing were pregnant one after another, she, as the legal wife, watching her belly that had no movement all along, couldn't help becoming anxious. After the Battle of Furious Tide City ended, she couldn't wait to follow Zhang Yuan to Sky's NC Pavilion, requesting the Grandmaster to condition her body. However, just as the recuperation was about to end, for some unknown reason, Zhang Yuan suddenly became cold and distant towards her. Even the Sword King's wife and martial obsessive Tang Yan, who had been hiding in the pavilion all along, were also expelled without reason. Under all kinds of helplessness, they had to leave Sky's NC Pavilion together with her. However, Mulan at that time had no time to attend to other things. Her whole mind was looking forward to returning to Shinlang's side immediately to give birth to an heir for him. So on the day leaving Sky's NC Pavilion, the group rushed to the Yu Kingdom's capital city without stopping. At this moment outside the Marquis of Chongping's mansion, Mulan just leaped off the carriage and strode into the mansion with light steps. She really missed Shinlang to the point of going crazy. This time she had made full preparations, deliberately pinpointing the best time for conception to come to the capital city to find him. At this time, Wu Lai, who was patrolling the mansion, was stunned by her appearance the moment he saw Mulan. So she is Jean Mulan. Her appearance is indeed, as the rumors in the marketplace say, beautiful enough to be soul-stirring. In comparison, if Shong Sher's beauty is the arrogant dazzle of a thorny rose, then Jean Mulan's beauty is purity that is not stained by dust, revealing within cold elegance. One glance makes it unforgettable. Amidst thoughts, Mulan walked directly past her, arrived in front of Little Bing, and asked urgently, "Binger, where is husband?" Hearing the question, Little Bing instantly panicked, her speech becoming stuttering. "Miss, young Master Shin is resting in the room. You have been exhausted from the journey. How about going to rest first too? I will go announce it right away." Mulan shook her head and smiled upon hearing this. "No need. I want to give him a surprise. None of you are allowed to tell him." Little Bing felt a burst of emptiness in her heart upon hearing this, raised her hand tremblingly pointing to one side and said, "Miss, young Master Shin's room is over there." Looking at Little Bing's abnormal appearance, although Mulan had doubts in her heart, they were still washed away by the joy of seeing Shinlang soon. Immediately she ran towards the bedroom Little Bing pointed to, who knew just arriving at the door, she heard a woman's charming shout coming from inside the room. "I want to have a baby for you." This sentence was instantly like a thunderbolt from a clear sky, making Mulan stand still on the spot, tears bursting out of her eyes instantly. "How could you treat me like this? After all, I came at the wrong time." At this moment, disheartened and cold, she turned around wanting to leave and return to mythical Turtle City. Unexpectedly, just after she ran a few steps away, Shinlang's urgent shout came from inside the room. "Baby, is that you?" Hearing this call, Mulan, even though her heart ached to the point of splitting, still gritted her teeth and stopped her footsteps. And all this was also thanks to Shin 13 risking his life to drill into the room to tip off Shinlang. Shinlang rushed out of the room with disheveled clothes. Ning Yan, hiding inside the room, although very reluctant, as a mistress, knew deeply that her identity was awkward and could only hold her breath with a guilty conscience, watching helplessly as Shinlang chased out of the room. Shinlang, just passing the window, saw her like this and couldn't help muttering in his heart, "Really unlucky. Recently I have been behaving myself. Didn't expect that just stealing a bite today." It happened to be when Mulan came. And this Ning Yan, it seems her usual arrogance and domineering were all pretended because of a lack of security, and now is her most true appearance. Shinlang shook his head. The urgent task right now is to coax Mulan baby well first. Thinking of this, he hurriedly quickened his pace to chase out, shouting urgently in his mouth, "Baby, listen to my quibble. I mean listen to my explanation. For these past few months, I have always kept myself clean. Today's matter was really just an accident." Hearing these words, Mulan had tears in her eyes, but only lowered her eyes in silence. Shinlang looked at her aggrieved appearance, his heart clenched fiercely, immediately encircled her waist from behind, knelt down on the ground with a plop and begged for mercy. "Baby, I was wrong. I am just a bastard. If hitting me can make your anger subside, then just slap me to death. But absolutely don't hold the anger in your heart. Your husband will really die of distress." Hearing Shinlang's oily tone carrying fawning, Mulan couldn't help softening her heart again. Forget it. A man like husband who has both looks and talent, which woman wouldn't be moved upon seeing him? What's more, she had long loved him to the extreme and couldn't leave him at all. Thinking over and over, Mulan took a deep breath, forcibly suppressed the surging emotions in her heart, raised her eyes and changed the subject. "Husband, Zhang Yuan has words for me to bring to you." Hearing Zhang Yuan's name, Shinlang's nerves tightened instantly, waving his hands hurriedly and clarifying urgently, "Baby, I really have not half a bit of relationship with this woman. I admit she has a crush on me, but I have long rejected her strictly. I am really not that kind of casual person. Also, that matter with Ning Yan today, we really belong completely to a post-drinking accident." Mulan looked at his appearance of being eager to clarify and sighed helplessly. "Husband, you misunderstood. Zhang Yuan asked me to tell you that from the moment I left Sky's NC Pavilion, everyone will just be strangers in the future. No need to interact anymore." Shinlang froze suddenly, involuntarily recalling Zhang Yuan's graceful figure and charming face in his mind, followed by a burst of strong regret surging in his heart. heart. If I had known it would come to this step, I should have had more involvement with her back when I was at Sky's End Sea Pavilion. However, Shinlang suddenly thought of a matter. With Zhang Yuan's character, she is not someone who would easily say break off relations. Could it be because I rejected Ning Han? Unexpectedly, that woman just expressed her attitude slightly, yet could make the attitude of the entire Sky's End Sea Pavilion undergo such a huge change. At this time, Mulan saw the expressions on his face changing constantly and couldn't help worrying. Husband, did something happen during this period? Shinlang heard this and got up to briefly recount the cause and effect. Baby, you don't know, a bitch, in order to make me withdraw from the struggle for the heir, actually used a charity-like tone to let me be a registered disciple of an old thing. I rejected it on the spot. Who knew this bitch actually avenged private wrongs in the name of public interests, directly letting the entire Sky's End Sea Pavilion completely ban us. After listening to these words, Mulan instantly had the answer in her heart. Those who returned to the capital city during this period, besides Shong Sher, there was only Ning Han, and the one who could be related to Sky's End Sea Pavilion, without thinking, must be Ning Han. At this moment, Mulan looked at Shinlang with heartache. She knew that although Shinlang spoke lightly, between the lines, she could still feel the contempt and humiliation he received at that time. Thinking of this, Mulan stepped forward to hug him and said softly, "Husband, thank you for protecting me like this. Next, I will definitely do my best to become the #1 in the world, stepping all those who have bullied you under my feet, avenging you." Not far away, Shin 13, who was covering for Ning Yan, looked at the two who had reconciled and couldn't help slandering in his heart. Still, Master has ability, reversing the situation in just a moment's effort, forcibly turning a farce of catching adultery into a big show of displaying affection in public. Early the next morning, the Shinlang family was sitting around the table preparing to eat when Princess Ning Yan actually came uninvited, sitting straight at the dining table. It's just that although she straightened her back on the surface, looking straight at Mulan without cowardice, in reality, her heart was already trembling with nervousness. Even her fingertips were trembling slightly. Shinlang couldn't help sighing in his heart seeing this scene. You are obviously so cowardly in front of Mulan. Why bother forcing yourself to come over and eat together? In order to alleviate this tense and awkward atmosphere, Shinlang hurriedly turned to Mulan and smiled. Baby, how is the progress of that big ship I ordered to be built before leaving home? Hearing Shinlang ask about this matter, Mulan's eyes lit up instantly. Husband, rest assured, the project progress has been more than half completed. It turned out that Shinlang had made a promise to Mulan back then that after Ningjing succeeded in seizing the airship and ascended to the position, he would take her on the big ship to wander the 4 seas. And when the Heavenly Path Society learned of this news at that time, they immediately sent Elder Huang Tong to deliver 150,000 gold coins, covering all the expenses of shipbuilding. After all, for the Heavenly Path Society, the strategic value Shinlang could create was not something this mere 150,000 gold could measure. At this moment, as soon as Shinlang thought that he was about to live a happy and shameless life with Mulan baby, a comfortable smile couldn't help rippling on his face. Unexpectedly, before his smile dispersed, Ning Yan and Jean Mutsong shouted suddenly in unison, "I'll go too." Hearing the two shouting, Mulan instantly swept her sharp eyes towards Ning Yan, then slapped Jean Mutsong on the head, scolding angrily, "Go where? If only you had a bit of promise. Why would your brother-in-law need to run around like this outside? The two of us should have gone to wander the world long ago." Jean Mutsong held his head, muttering aggrievely, "Why do you have to force me to be the mythical turtle marquis? Brother-in-law is so smart. Isn't it good to let him sit in this position? My Jean Mutsong's dream is to become a generation's riding god." Aside, Ning Yan watched Mulan's move, her heart instantly raising to her throat. Where is she teaching Jean Mutsong a lesson? She is clearly killing the chicken to warn the monkey. Aiming at me, Ning Yan, looking at Shinlang beside her again. That look of "I also have no way" made her teeth itch with anger. God damn it, how did I fall for such a henpecked coward back then? Meanwhile, in the secret room of the mansion, Sword King Li Qianqiu held a rice bowl in his hand, his tone gentle like coaxing a young child, chasing his wife to feed her. "Don't run anymore, let's eat rice." Unexpectedly, before his voice fell, his wife roared, raising her hand to knock the rice bowl in his hand to the ground. The porcelain bowl shattered. Food was messy, but the woman pounced on the ground violently, like an out-of-control beast, grabbing food with both hands and swallowing frantically. Seeing this, Li Qianqiu not only had no anger but walked up quickly, pulled his wife into his arms with a bit of force, then picked up a clean spoon aside, and patiently fed the food into her mouth slowly. At this moment, Shinlang, who just entered the door and witnessed the whole process, couldn't help frowning tightly, a burst of unspeakable self-blame instantly surging in his heart. It should be known that before, the Sword King almost guarded his wife without leaving a step, but in recent months, in order to keep his promise to himself, Li Qianqiu helplessly placed his wife in Sky's End Sea Pavilion. It's just that the last time he saw the Sword King's wife, she wasn't this crazy yet. Now only a few months have passed. Unexpectedly, without her husband's care, she actually lost even that last shred of sanity, completely reduced to something like a beast. Half an hour later, Li Qianqiu finally expended the strength of 9 bulls and 2 tigers to finish feeding the rice in his hand, his whole person panting heavily, tired and collapsed on the chair. At this time, Shinlang walked forward and said to him with with a face full of guilt. Senior Sword King, I'm very sorry. It was my error in judgment this time. The reason I proposed letting you send your honorable wife to Sky's End Sea Pavilion back then was that I thought with the capability of the world's #1 pavilion, there would definitely be a way to cure her. But I never expected that they clearly have the ability, yet were completely unwilling to lend a hand. Li Qianqiu sighed upon hearing this. Young Master Shin need not blame yourself. After all, my weight is too light to enter the eyes of Sky's End Sea Pavilion, so they refused to save her. Shinlang snorted disdainfully upon hearing this, then walked straight to the table, organizing experimental equipment methodically while saying in a deep voice, "Why should Senior belittle yourself? That Sky's End Sea Pavilion is not as noble and sacred as the world praises. Since they refuse to save your honorable wife, then we will follow my method. Only that you have seen the process, there is a certain risk." After listening, Li Qianqiu's eyes suddenly condensed, and he said firmly, "No harm, young Master Shin, just go ahead and do it." Shinlang nodded and continued, "What is in your honorable wife's body is cursed poison. Originally, according to common sense, I only needed to use Big Fool's golden bloodline essence to lure all these cursed bugs out of the body. But the biggest trouble now is that cursed poison, has long become the source maintaining her life. If forcibly separated, it would be like a venomous snake without venom. She would rapidly weaken and fail until death. And right now, wanting a way to eliminate the severe poison in her body without luring the cursed bugs out of the body, I only have one, and that is to combat poison with poison. Previously, I did experiments using the cursed poison in Shui Yin's body and that in your honorable wife's body, and found that after these two cursed poisons fused, what appeared was a state of mutual killing and restraint. So next, inject a large amount of cursed bugs carrying neurotoxins to restrain the original cursed poison in her body." Speaking to this point, Shinlang paused, turned to look at Li Qianqiu, and said with an increasingly solemn tone, "Senior, there are some uncertain factors I still need to inform you in advance. Once the cursed bugs with neurotoxins are too strong, a situation might occur where the severe poison on Madam has not been neutralized yet, but the original cursed bugs are poisoned to death instead." Immediately he met Li Qianqiu's gaze and continued, "In short, Senior, I am only 70% sure about this matter. The other 30% risk is that once it fails, your wife might die suddenly in an instant." Hearing Shinlang's last sentence, Li Qianqiu fell silent. After a long while, he raised his head with firm eyes and said, "Young Master Shin, do it. I, Li Qianqiu, have never harmed anyone in my life. This affection for my wife, I believe, will receive heaven's protection. This time, it will definitely succeed." Shinlang formally began the treatment for the Sword King's wife. Although he said it simply, just needing to combat poison with poison, the actual operation process was extremely complicated and dangerous. The entire therapy needs to start with injecting the first generation of neurotoxin cursed bugs, wait for the toxicity to fade gradually, then inject the second and third generation cursed bugs in sequence. And the most dangerous part of this is precisely the first step. It should be known that the toxicity of the first generation cursed bugs is extremely fierce. Even Goddess Shuayin couldn't resist it, but it just happens that only it can neutralize the severe poison in the Sword King's wife's body. And this crucial step is also the 30% Shinlang is most uncertain about. Once the first step fails, the Sword King's wife will surely die in an instant. After a long while, Shinlang was seen wearing a specially made protective suit, picking up a syringe, and carefully starting to extract the cursed poison, while issuing instructions in a deep voice. "Senior Sword King, please seal Madam's acupoints all over her body. Tang Yan, you guard the side and listen to my orders at any time." A moment later, when everything was ready, Shinlang walked to Li Qianqiu's side and said, "Senior, we are starting now. Later, no matter what abnormal movements occur to Madam, you must hold her steady to death. Not half a bit of mistake can happen." After speaking, he injected all the cursed poison into the Sword King's wife's body without hesitation, and almost the moment the cursed poison entered the body, her breathing and heartbeat stopped abruptly, followed by the skin all over her body becoming incomparably stiff at a speed visible to the naked eye, actually exactly the same as Shui Yin's symptoms before. However, this state only lasted for less than half a quarter of an hour. The Sword King's wife, who recovered her heartbeat and breathing, suddenly erupted with beast-like roars from her throat, and then her whole person went completely crazy. The manic struggling body actually forcefully broke through the acupoints laid by Li Qianqiu. Shinlang saw this, hurriedly retreated, and shouted sternly at the same time, "Senior, Tang Yan, hold her down quickly." Seeing this, the two dared not hesitate for a moment, both activating inner strength to step forward and suppress. At this moment, the Sword King's wife became infinitely strong. The two exerted all their strength and could only barely hold her down. Immediately after, a more terrible scene appeared. Under the skin and flesh of the Sword King's wife, it seemed there were thousands of cursed bugs scurrying one after another, wanting to break out of the body. Suddenly she let out a shrill roar. Shinlang took advantage of this gap, stepped forward quickly, and injected the second dose of cursed poison. As the injection entered the body, the Sword King's wife quieted down instantly, but this calm only lasted for a few breaths, and a new round of mania and struggle erupted again. It's just that through observation, Shinlang found that the mania this time was obviously much weaker than the first time. Immediately after, once, twice, twice. Just like this, it was injected repeatedly 13 times, until everyone was tossed to exhaustion, especially Shinlang, who was the most haggard, because how much neurotoxin cursed bugs to inject each time, which generation to use, and the interval time between injections, completely relied on Shinlang's X-ray vision for detailed observation, and then through incomparably precise calculations to ensure nothing went wrong. If there was even a little mistake, the Sword King's wife would end up exploding and dying. When the last needle of neurotoxin cursed bugs was injected into the body, Shinlang's pupils shrank fiercely, and a miracle happened. The Sword King's wife's skin, which was pitted like a toad, was becoming smooth and flat inch by inch, and that hunched body like a fierce beast also slowly stretched out, restoring to its original body shape outline. Beside him, Li Qianqiu wept with joy upon seeing this scene, shouting excitedly, "Success! Young Master Shin, you succeeded!" That evening, after going through a long transformation of an hour and a half, the Sword King's wife finally peeled off that layer of filthy toad skin completely, returning to the form of an ordinary person. Shinlang walked over to observe her recovery situation. Not bad. The state of skin recovery is much better than imagined, but if she wants to recover completely as before, I'm afraid it will take at least another year or two. Thinking of this, he turned to Li Qianqiu, who was guarding the side with a solemn face, and said, "Senior need not worry anymore. The power of this last generation of neurotoxin-cursed bugs is only in paralyzing the human body. Within half a month, its toxicity will dissipate completely, and the remaining residual poison can be excreted by the human body's own metabolism. By then your honorable wife will be able to wake up, and you can reunite with her properly." Waking up really can wake up. Li Qianqiu choked and muttered to himself. At this moment, the suffering accumulated in his heart for more than 10 years instantly turned into hot tears rolling down. His wife is finally going to get rid of the torture of this cursed poison. Shinlang silently watched this scene, and sensibly greeted Tang Yan. "Let's go out first."